Yes, okay. So what you're asking me then is, can you graduate earlier? Yes. And this student chose not to. She actually went to high school all 4 years. But yes, some students, unless they change the graduation requirements, it's tough because you have to graduate academic UIL and one act play, and she wanted to not miss her senior year. So that's just something that students have to weigh. But yes, a lot of times students graduate. And here's what really helps students. A lot of students don't opt or choose to graduate from high school early. I've had quite a few. This student is an exception that she graduated from high school, and so she started college and just has 2 more years to go. But most of my students can graduate from college in 3 years or 3.5 years. And my daughter just took maybe 6 hours, but she's able to, she's going to be graduating from college in 3.5 years. And my other daughter, my middle daughter, graduated in 3.5 years. So they graduated and were out in the workforce sooner. The other thing to think about is, I'm sorry.
No, you can do it yourself if you want to.
Is this left or right or just click? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's either click or left. I mean, roll it.
And I can say this because I have, my youngest daughter is a student at UNT. And right now, if you're in high school right now and you took an English class, it's going to cost you $216 to take that English class. $100, and that's tuition and fees, and at UNT $1,051. And I have another daughter who is working on her master's degree, so she's got her first college degree, and now she's working on her MBA, and I won't tell you where she's going to school, but it is a public university. She's taking one class that's costing her $4,000. One class. Now, if your classes cost you that much in an investment, would you work a little bit harder? Because it's like, oh my goodness, my education is very valuable for me being able to get, it's going to open up a lot more job opportunities for you. So, why do you think NCTC is so cheap? So much cheaper than the other colleges there.
Get it done younger.
What else?
It helps you for college.
Okay. It's a good thought.
I don't know if I was here, but I'm just guessing. I think you said something about they come to you and teach you.
Mm-hmm. And that's not really what it is about. NCTC is a 2-year college. Community colleges, by and far, are a lot less expensive because those 4-year universities, and if you Googled, not even A&M and UT, depends on what you're majoring in. If you're an engineering major, some of those programs that are really expensive to teach, your tuition and fees are going to be a lot more because those are expensive programs. NCTC is mostly basic classics. They have some health science and some other things, but you know, my joke, like at UNT, the big Apogee Stadium, and they keep building and building and building, and it doesn't matter if you never go to a football game or a college basketball game or volleyball game or participate in all those intramural sports or go into that. They have a couple of indoor pools and then that rappelling wall, and their workout facilities are nicer than these fitness centers that are just very expensive, but you're paying for all that. Whether you use counseling and testing or go to the health infirmary if you have a medical issue, you're paying for all that. 2-year community colleges don't have all of those costs associated with them. The other part of that is NCTC, this is dual credit. A lot of 4-year colleges, you don't have that option. And dual credit, NCTC is giving you a price break. It costs, I think it costs like $20, $40, $63 per course less because they're just giving students an incentive to take some classes while you're still in high school. And you can earn more credit. So, can you pop to the next slide? When you start thinking about going to a 4-year college, you need to think about what you're majoring in. Because I don't know if you can see that because it's light on there. But if you looked at the Texas Common Course numbering system, because this class at NCTC may be called something completely different at another college or university. And if you Google that in Texas, you can compare institutions. So you can pull up, NCTC and say, well, hey, I know after I graduate from high school, my dream school has always been Texas A&M University, so I can pull up North Central Texas College, that institution. And pretty much in Texas now, because of what's happening in the legislature and the fact that college costs so much, students are having, in the legislature, they're wanting students, we need you in and out in 4 years. And I can use an example with A&M, and I don't even like A&M, I guess I shouldn't say that. But A&M, because my high school students would come back to me and say, Ms. Metzler, you know, if you take 12 hours at A&M, they're going to charge you for 15 hours. If you take 18 hours at A&M, they're going to charge you for 15 hours. And 15 hours would be 5 classes a semester. That'd be like 5 classes. So the message there is they're trying to encourage students to take more classes, because if you take fewer, because students, I don't know, some college students are thinking, oh, I only want to take 9 hours, or I only want to take 12 hours, or they start with 15 hours and they drop some. So the more classes you take, even at UNT I noticed that for Allison whenever she got her little postcard to register for classes, that if you're taking more hours, they're going to give you a little bit of a price break on the tuition, because students are not wanting to take what I would consider a full load. Because I would tell you back in the day, I would take 18 hours. Because I wanted to get my classes in. That is evidently a rarity now, that students want to just take 12 hours and that's it. And I'm like, what are you going to do with the rest of your time? Because if you think 12 hours in a class meets 3 hours a week, that's just 4 classes for a semester. So again, you know, using your time and spending your money wisely. So you take a college level course, but you know, when you have an assignment due here, does your teacher remind you?
Yes.
Okay. College, that's not going to happen. Remember, you might have paid $1,000 or $2,000, and those are public colleges. If I looked at private colleges, that might be $2,000 or $3,000 per class. And when I say private, I mean like Baylor, TCU, SMU, Austin College and Sherman, those kinds of classes, because they don't get any financial support from the state, so it's going to cost you more to attend a private college. But you have to think about that whenever you're thinking about college, because who's going to pay?
Dad.
Dad, you can hope. That, again, I
I
can
already
use.
know.
Well,
He told me I'm either going to college or.
okay, and I will tell you, if you want a good website to visit, go to collegeforalltexans.com. If you want to make your parents cry, go to collegeforalltexans.com and look at college costs, and it will show how much tuition and fees are for a year at all the Texas public, private, 2-year, 4-year, and really, if you want to make your parents cry, look at that.
That's
I'm
why
already
you want to. That's why you want to take the dual credit classes. Remember how cheap it was to take that class sitting in high school? You can finish 2 years, and the money you will save.
Well, and not even considering that you're at home, you still have your family support, somebody's still cooking you 3 meals a day maybe, and you don't have to drive to a campus, and you're not paying for room and board, because you're right here. And it's really convenient. So that's just something that's really good. And she's shown the test scores. Can you scroll on down from that? What's your question?
So for the college you go to, or the college you want to go to, does it cost more money to take the credit classes for college? Like,
Yeah, 4-year colleges are automatically, remember when I showed that slide that showed it's about $1,000, and that's just right now.
in college? I mean, in high school? It
No.
costs-
Yeah, but some of the 4 years aren't going to allow that. Yeah, if you took a dual credit with UNT, and they really don't like students to do that, yeah, it's going to cost you about $1,000 to take a class at UNT. And I say this because here's an example. My daughter took an instructor dual credit. It was economics, and she took it in high school. She lives in Cook County. That's her address. Not that y'all need to know this, but the tax base for Cook County taxpayers pay taxes to support that college. So my daughter's college class, if she took one class, didn't even cost her $100. But it's because she lives in Cook County. See, the colleges in Denton County on the Corinth campus or the Flower Mound campus, there is no tax base right now to support that college. That's why it costs you a little more, because you can think, hey, $216 is a lot cheaper than $1,000, but I just know that in Cook County, those students are paying a lot less because their families are paying taxes to support that college. What's your question?
What was the website again?
The
Say that
website?
again? Oh, collegeforalltexans.com. I don't know if I have that.
You put it on anything?
And
Is
y'all
it the
know.
number 4?
And I'm not going over this because these are just other testing requirements right now, and y'all are not there. Because kind of like with tax tech, EOC, they're going to change some of the college requirements as far as testing.
And it's the number 4 or is it FOU?
It's the FOR. I think you can even just Google collegefortexans.com
Or FOR?
and it would get you there too, but it was FOR. So whenever I got back, I kind of skipped this a while ago, and I'm going to skip this. Oh, I'll show you this one right now. Because just because you're really bright, again, doesn't mean you have the work ethic. You're very self-disciplined, and you know how to take care of it. Because we do get quite a few complaints that students, well, students will say, can I have a makeup test? There are no makeup tests in college. Or if you have an extracurricular